Hello, welcome to Basics of Finite Element Analysis. Now what we will do in next 10-15 minutes is we will actually solve a problem so that you become clearer about all these 4 methods, and then you will see the limitations of even these 4 approaches. Example. So what we are going to do is we are going to solve this differential equation. And this equation is valid for 0 to between 0 and 1 square, okay. And my boundary conditions are u at 0 equals 0 and u prime at 1 equals 1. These are the boundary conditions. So the first step 1. So we will solve this equation using Petrov-Galerkin, Galerkin, collocation and least square, all these 4 methods, okay. So the first step is that we choose phi naught so that it satisfies all boundary conditions. Okay. So one boundary condition is at x is equal to 0, u is 0, other boundary condition is that x is equal to 1, its differential is 1. So we choose phi naught equals x, it meets both the boundary conditions. The second boundary condition u prime at 1 equals 1 is a non-homogeneous boundary condition. The first boundary condition is a homogeneous boundary condition, okay. So we see that phi naught at 0 equals 0 and phi naught prime at 1 equals 1, okay. Then what we do is we choose phi I, and phi I has to satisfy all the boundary conditions, but their homogeneous form. Okay. And what we will do is that we will develop a 2-term solution, n is equal to 2. So we take n is equal to 2. So we will take phi 1 and phi 2 in such that phi 1 equals minus x times 2 minus x and phi 2 is x square times 1 minus 2 x by 3, okay. So let us see, phi 1 at x is equal to 0 is 0, it satisfies that boundary condition. Then phi 1, its first differential is minus 2 plus 2x, right, and that is equal to 0 at the other end. So this satisfies both the boundary condition in homogeneous form, this is very important, in homogeneous form, and the same thing we see is true for phi 2 also. So phi 1 has to solve the actual boundary conditions, phi 0, phi 1, phi 2, phi 3, phi 4, they have to solve the homogeneous form of the boundary conditions. So this is important. So this is there. Then our next step is compute R. So R is the residue and this is a function of Cj, x and y. So what I do is I plug in, so for this we plug in phi naught and one second. So, here my u n is equal to 2 term solution u 2, I will not is equal to C 1 phi 1 plus C 2 phi 2. Excuse me. So, I am sorry, I have messed it up. So, this is my definition of u n. So, we compute r in terms of u n, which is defined by this equation. So, basically I plug in this equation in this differential equation. ठीक है, 5-6 मिनट एक्स्ट्रा जाएंगे. In this differential equation we plug in and we get the value of r. Okay. So, my residue is summation j is equal to 1 to n Cj second derivative of phi j by dx square, and there is a minus sign here, plus Cj phi j, okay, minus d2 phi naught over dx square plus phi naught plus x square. This is my residue. Okay. So, this is my residue. This is the statement for residue, and one thing I wanted to correct here is that in this definition of u n there should have been a phi naught also, because in the second statement phi naught is already included there. Okay. So, that is my definition of residue, and what I do is at this stage I compute the value of second derivative of phi naught, and phi naught was x. So, its second derivative is 0. Then I compute the second derivative of phi 1, because here I have to have second derivative terms. So, that is why I am doing this. So, this is equal to 2, and then the second derivative of phi 2 is equal to 2 minus 4x. So, I can again plug these things back in my expression for r, and I do all the math, and what I get is that my r, if I plug all these things in, let us call this equation 1. So, if I plug phi naught prime double prime phi 1 double prime phi 2 double prime in first equation, then my r, it comes out as 2 minus 2x plus x square times C1 plus minus 2 plus 4x minus x square plus 2x square by 3 times C2 minus x plus x square. So, this is a simplified expression for residue R. Okay. And what is my goal? I have to find C1 and C2. If I know C1 and C2, then I can calculate using this relation u at all locations in my domain. So, my problem right now is that I do not C1 and C2. So, I have to find C1 and C2. So, to find C1 and C2 now we will apply different weighted residual methods, okay. And for different residual methods we have to make different choices of weight functions. So, our first method is Petrov-Galerkin. Here the weight function should not be same as the approximation function for the primary variable. So, I choose say psi is the weight function as x and psi 2 is the second weight function as x square. Okay. So, this is one. Then for Galerkin method, the requirement is different, where psi is should be the weight function should be same as the approximation functions. So, here psi 1 equals phi 1 and psi 2 equals phi 2. Then in the third case, I use least squares approach. I use the method of least squares, and in this method of least squares, psi 1 equals partial of r with respect to C1. So, this is equal to 2 minus 2x plus x square. How did I get this? From equation 2. Okay. And psi 2 is equal to partial of r by C2, and this is equal to this entire thing minus 2 plus 4x minus x square plus 2x square by 3. Okay. And in the fourth case, I am going to use collocation method. Okay. So, my psi 1 is direct delta function located at x minus 1 by 3. So, I am just picking up these locations. So, here if it is a 2 term solution, I have to make sure that the residue goes to 0 at 2 points. So, those 2 points are, I have made that choice, it is not that some special mathematics, I am picking up that first point is x is equal to 1 by 3 and second location is x is equal to 2 by 3. Okay. So, in a domain of 0 to 1, these 2 points are the places where residue is 0 and all the points in the domain then are equally spaced, but I can pick some other points also. So, this is direct delta at x equals 1 by 3 and the other one is direct delta at x minus 2 by 3. Okay. So, these are different weight functions and the choice of weight functions depends on different flavors of weighted residual method. Now, for each of these weighted residual methods, I have to write 2 linear equations because my goal is to find C1 and C2. So, the first linear equation is for each method 2 linearly independent what are these 2 linearly independent equations? The first equation is psi 1, I can pick which psi 1 I am interested in, right, based on the method, times residue is defined here, okay, 0 to 1 which is the domain of the of our interest, this is equal to 0. So, this is equation 1 and the second equation is 0 to 1 psi 2 times r d omega, excuse me. So, this is dx is equal to 0 and here also I will write dx is equal to 0. So, this is my equation 2. Okay. So, I get two equations for each method and I have two unknowns C1 and C2, and in this case it is a linear system. So, they are linear equations, simultaneous equations. I can solve them and I can calculate the values of C's. Okay. So, what I will do is, so once the C is there, then my solution Ux is equal to, I get a solution of something like this. And the values of A1, A2 and A3 can be determined by, once I have calculated C's, I plug those C's in this relation and I can calculate the values of A1, A2 and A3, right. I can get the value of A1 and A2 and A3, A3x cube. Yeah. And what I will do is, I will actually tabulate. So, first solution method is Petrov-Galerkin, second method is Galerkin, third method is least squares, fourth method is collocation. Okay. And here I am going to write A1, A2 and A3. Okay. So, this number is 1.3020 minus 0.1730 minus 0.14, excuse me, 0.1466. For Galerkin, I see 1.2894 minus 0.1398 minus 0.00325. Okay. For least squares, I am getting 1.2601 minus 0.8017 minus 0.03325, and the collocation method gives us 1.3612 minus 0.12927, and this is minus 0.03422. And if you compare the, so what you see is that the first term parameters, I mean they are pretty close to each other, and if you keep on increasing the number of terms in the solution, all these solutions will slowly converge to the same value, they will converge to the same value. And in this particular case, if you actually compare the results with exact solution, you will find that this method gives the best solutions, but that may not necessarily always be the case for all problems. So, this is there, and this completes our discussion on weighted residual methods, and what we have explored are 4 different weighted residual methods: Petrov-Galerkin, Galerkin, least squares and collocation method, and the choice of weight function decides what type of weighted residual method we are going to practice. So, that concludes our lecture for the today. We will continue our we will start a new topic starting tomorrow. Thank you.